Hi, my name is Emma Maya Dinnerstein, and I am the president of the Women's Law Society, who judges the Ruth Bader Ginsburg Writing and Drawing Contest for K through 12 applicants, asking the question, how has RBG inspired me? Our applicants this year were creative and inspirational, and our winners truly went above and beyond in how they answered the question. We are truly grateful for our winners for being here tonight and for participating and just being all around amazing. We are also really grateful to everyone involved in the process, from the administrators on the planning committee to Rhode Island Lawyers Weekly, for publishing our winners in their next edition. I want to give a shout out to the rest of the WLS board for participating and judging in the contest each and every year. It is an amazing thing that we get to do and be a part of in our community, and I am just really appreciative of everyone involved. So without further ado, please enjoy the rest of this video. You're going to love hearing from all of our winners and seeing their amazing work. Enjoy.
A Hero's Life by Marie LaPierre. My grandma, Napa, is my hero. Growing up in the 1960s, Napa loved science, but was told she couldn't become a scientist because that wasn't a career option for girls. Napa was told if she went to college she had to become a nurse or a teacher because those were jobs appropriate for women to do outside of the house. So Napa became a nurse because it gave her a chance to study science, which she loved. While Napa was limited because she was a girl, Ruth Bader Ginsburg was fighting to get rid of those limitations for girls. In her life, Ginsburg faced many situations where she was limited because of her gender. For example, no law firm wanted to hire her because she was a woman. In one of Ginsburg's cases, Reed versus Reed, she fought because a man was being preferred over a woman based on nothing but his sex. Ginsburg argued that women were being discriminated against in the 14th Amendment, which says if you were born in the USA or are a citizen, you have equal protection under laws. Unlike Napa and Ginsburg, I'm growing up in a time where women are allowed to choose a career they're interested in. Women have less restrictions on what they can and can't study today. Also, women have the agency to pursue opportunities that Ginsburg fought for. Ginsburg has inspired my life in many ways. One of those ways is by fighting for women to have rights to things that they couldn't. There are so many more opportunities for me today than there were when Napa was growing up. Many of these opportunities exist because of women like Ginsburg.
Hi, I'm Gayatri Bhakta from East Providence High School, and this is my essay, Steps Toward Equality. Ruth Bader Ginsburg lived a life of unrelenting excellence in the face of hardship. She was a machine with an almost perfect academic record that she carried into a highly successful career, but she was a human, persevering against the odds, fueled by a passion for equality and women's rights. She was strong in the face of blatant sexism and fought her way through a hostile educational system while remaining at the top of her class. She was the embodiment of what the Supreme Court represents: justice. However, what characterized her career was not her idealism, but her effectiveness. We take some of her successes for granted today, but even her incremental achievements work to dismantle the foundational elements of legal discrimination. Her fight for equality was powered by skill and strategy. In her lead opinion in U.S. v. Virginia, she argued that the Virginia Military Institute's policy of not admitting women was unconstitutional. Through this case and others, she made decisive gains for women's rights. But the fight for equality was broader than this. As a litigator, she won cases like Weinberger v. Weisenfeld, arguing against a denial of Social Security benefits for widowers on the basis of gender. Her consistency in her arguments won her favor with men as well as women, and steeled her arguments against opponents who would claim she was biased. She believed in equality regardless of gender, and that's what she fought for. Instances like these, where the law explicitly targeted one gender, were easier to dismantle because they were so blatantly harmful and discriminatory. Though she would have been justified in pushing for immediate and total equality for women, Ginsburg had an eye on what was effective and made many smaller steps toward equality. Her measured but persistent attitude is something to learn from in today's political environment. Through finding points of agreement with even those who are radically opposed, we can maintain both progress and stability. Though Ginsburg has passed, her legacy has become especially relevant with the fall of Roe v. Wade. She was always a firm advocate for a woman's right to choose her own life's course. On this issue, she again took a practical approach, grounded in the reality of women's lives, rather than metaphysical debates about when life begins. She defended Roe v. Wade and stood against the erosion of women's autonomy in her Gonzalez v. Carhart dissent. She emphasized the drastic impact of having a child, from the health risks of childbirth to the long-term impact on a woman's career, economic prospects, and freedom. She brought the issue down from unproductive theoretical debates to the real issues faced by real women. I was in Washington, D.C. when Roe v. Wade was overturned, and I watched the early protests form. Seeing the pain and desperation of the protesters reaffirmed what Ruth Bader Ginsburg had argued. At the heart of the abortion issue is a woman's right to health care and autonomy. By that point, Ginsburg was no longer on the court, but her spirit lived on in the many protesters that fought to preserve her ideals. We must pick up the torch and fulfill her legacy, protecting the abortion rights that remain and reinstating equality for all.